Imagine two people earning the exact same salary, same country, same economy, same bills, same 24 hours. But somehow, one person is permanently broke. His room looks like a clearance sale survived a tornado. 3 food delivery bags sitting proudly on the table like trophies. 7 half-used skin products. 10 forgotten subscriptions. A chair covered in clothes that are not dirty but not clean enough to wear outside. Meanwhile, the other person lives calmly. Their home feels peaceful. Their mind feels lighter. Their bank account is somehow breathing normally. They sleep well. They don't panic every time their phone buzzes with a bank alert. Now here's the shocking part. The difference is not always income. Sometimes, it's discipline. Japan mastered something many modern societies quietly lost: the ability to live well without constantly buying more things. And honestly, that's terrifying for consumer culture, because modern life trains people to spend emotionally. Sad, buy something. Bored, order something. Stressed, upgrade something. Lonely, add to cart. Modern marketing basically whispers, you're one purchase away from becoming the main character. Meanwhile, Japanese discipline often asks a completely different question: do I actually need this? And that one tiny question has probably saved millions of people from financial collapse and owning 17 identical water bottles. Now don't misunderstand this. Japan is not perfect. No society is. But there's something deeply fascinating about how many Japanese people approach consumption. Slowly, carefully, and intentionally. While many people shop like they're competing in the Olympic Games of emotional damage, in Japan, purchases are often long-term decisions. People think, will this improve daily life? Will this last? Do I truly need this? Where will I put it? Will this create clutter? Meanwhile, somewhere else in the world, somebody just bought a neon banana-shaped lamp at 2:14 a.m. because TikTok said it creates good vibes, and now the lamp is sitting in the corner looking unemployed. Japanese minimalism is not just about aesthetics, it's survival against unnecessary chaos. Because clutter costs more than money. It steals focus, it creates stress, it quietly exhausts the brain. Scientists even found that visual clutter increases mental fatigue, which explains why some rooms feel peaceful and others feel like your thoughts are fighting for parking spaces. And this is where the discipline gap becomes obvious. Many people don't buy because they need something. They buy because they need dopamine, that quick emotional excitement, that tiny rush, that magical moment before the delivery arrives and reality returns. But disciplined spending works differently. It delays emotion, it slows impulse, it forces thought before action. And one Japanese habit quietly destroys impulse spending: waiting. Yes, waiting. Not buy now, not limited offer, not only to left, just waiting. Because sometimes after 48 hours, the thing you thought would change your life suddenly looks like plastic nonsense with LED lights. And that's the scary truth. Most financial problems don't begin with one giant mistake. They begin with tiny emotional purchases, repeated hundreds of times, quietly, daily, comfortably, until people wake up surrounded by clutter, wondering where all their money, peace, and mental energy disappeared. Now here's something that confuses many people the first time they see it in Japan. Japanese homes are often small, very small, the kind of apartment where you accidentally stretch to heart and respectfully touch 3 pieces of furniture at once. And yet, they feel peaceful, not crowded, not emotionally violent, not like the room itself is judging your life decisions. Meanwhile, some people live in houses so big the Wi-Fi gets tired halfway through the hallway. Yet somehow every corner still contains random nonsense. A treadmill is becoming a clothing museum. 3 broken chargers nobody wants to throw away. A drawer filled with mysterious cables from extinct civilizations. And that one chair. Every home has it. The legendary "I'll wear it again" chair. Japanese homes work differently. Small apartments are organized carefully. Less furniture, less waste. Every item has a purpose. Nothing is fighting for attention. And the surprising part is, Japanese homes don't feel poor. They feel calm. That's because clutter affects the brain more than people realize. Studies show clutter increases stress hormones. Your brain keeps processing unfinished visual information, which means your room might actually be exhausting you. So when people say, "I'm tired for no reason," sometimes the reason is the room looks like a supermarket exploded emotionally. Japanese design quietly removes mental pressure. Clean spaces improve focus. They improve sleep. They reduce decision fatigue. Because every object silently demands attention. That pile of clothes, mental stress. That messy table, mental stress. That drawer that refuses to close properly. That drawer has become a psychological enemy. Meanwhile, Japanese minimalism says, if it has no purpose, why is it here? And honestly, that question has probably offended half the modern world. But here's where it gets deeper. Japanese culture often respects objects, not worshipping them, respecting them. Shoes repaired, clothing maintained, appliances preserved carefully. Many people grow up learning long-term care instead of endless replacement. Meanwhile, modern culture treats objects like temporary relationships. Phone slightly slower, replace it. Tiny scratch on shoes, funeral ceremony immediately. Chair squeaks once. Yeah, it's time for a new life. And companies love this mindset because fast consumption creates permanent customers. But maintenance culture saves enormous amounts of money. More importantly, it changes your relationship with life itself. You become more careful, more intentional, less wasteful. Modern culture trains people to replace everything, including peace. New trends, new furniture, new aesthetics, new upgrades, new distractions. But peace does not come from constantly restarting your environment. Sometimes peace comes from finally having enough. And maybe that's why some Japanese homes feel emotionally lighter. Not because they own everything, but because nothing unnecessary is screaming for attention. One of the most dangerous modern addictions is not sugar, not social media, not even online shopping. It's convenient. Because convenience feels harmless, until your bank account starts breathing through a ventilator. Now Japan has convenience too. Actually, Japan may be one of the most convenient countries on earth. Fast trains, vending machines everywhere. Stores so efficient they make other countries look emotionally unprepared. But here's the difference. Convenience exists. Discipline controls it. That changes everything. People walk more. Public transport is normal. Daily life includes movement, planning, and patience. Meanwhile, in many modern lifestyles, people will spend extra money to avoid the smallest discomfort imaginable. Food delivery for a restaurant located 17 seconds away. Ordering iced coffee through an app while already standing inside the cafe. Using elevators to travel distances your ancestors would consider an insult to human legs. And look, nobody is saying convenience is evil, but constant convenience slowly drains finances in ways people barely notice. Delivery fee, service fee, priority fee, small tip, extra snack, late night craving. Repeat tomorrow. Suddenly your monthly statement looks like you've been sponsoring a food delivery company emotionally. And this is the scary part. Many people are not broke from one big mistake, but from hundreds of tiny comforts, tiny daily decisions, tiny lazy shortcuts, tiny emotional spending, repeated quietly for years. The Japanese discipline often accepts small discomforts, walking, waiting, planning ahead, carrying things manually, cooking simple meals, and strangely enough, those tiny inconveniences often create healthier lives and calmer finances. Now here's where it gets even deeper. Japanese discipline usually starts early, very early. In many Japanese schools, children clean their own classrooms. Yes, the children. Imagine introducing this idea in some places and watching students suddenly discover human rights activism. But Japan teaches responsibility differently. Kids learn. Shared spaces matter. Cleaning is normal. Respect is practical. Discipline is daily life, not punishment. That changes adulthood completely. Because habits shape identity. Children raised with structure often become adults who naturally maintain order. Meanwhile, many people grow up treating discipline like an enemy. Cleaning feels offensive. Responsibility feels exhausting. Routine feels like oppression. So adulthood becomes chaotic. Laundry piles up like historical monuments. Dishes begin forming political alliances in the sink. One unopened package sits near the door for 6 business days because future me will handle it. But disciplined habits reduce chaos later in life. That's the hidden power most people miss. Discipline is not about suffering. It's about reducing future stress. And the real wealth Japan teaches children isn't money. It's self-control. Because self-control protects everything. Your finances, your health, your environment, your peace, and sometimes, your sanity after opening your banking app. Now let's talk about one of the biggest discipline gaps between Japan and modern lifestyles: food. Because modern eating habits have become emotionally complicated. People are no longer just eating because they're hungry. They're eating because they're stressed, bored, lonely, celebrating, sad, watching Netflix, recovering from Monday, or simply because the fries looked respectful. Meanwhile, Japanese meals are often surprisingly simple: smaller portions, balanced meals, seasonal ingredients, less waste. The food is designed to satisfy the body, not defeat it in combat. And honestly, this shocks many visitors, because the portions look normal. Not "I need a forklift to leave the restaurant" normal. In many modern lifestyles, restaurants serve enough food to feed a confused village. Then people eat all of it because somewhere deep inside, their ancestors are whispering, "We do not waste food." Now suddenly you're lying on the couch breathing like you survived a wildlife attack. Japanese eating culture often encourages moderation naturally. Smaller dishes, slow eating, balanced nutrition. And because meals are lighter, people often feel lighter mentally too. Meanwhile, modern fast food culture is aggressive. Everything is larger, cheesier, fried harder, stuffed deeper, and delivered faster than emotional healing. And here's the dangerous part. Many people spend huge amounts trying to escape stress, while their lifestyle keeps creating it. Stress eating, overspending, poor sleep, low energy. Repeat tomorrow. Then people wonder why they feel tired all the time, when their bloodstream currently contains 3 soft drinks and determination. But Japan protects something many societies accidentally destroy: calmness. And nowhere is this more obvious than silence. If you've ever seen Japanese trains, one thing feels almost supernatural. People are quiet. No random speakerphone arguments. No videos playing at full volume like a public hostage situation. No man watching motivational clips at maximum sound while chewing aggressively. Just peace, calm public behavior. Less unnecessary noise. Less stimulation attacks the brain every 5 seconds. Meanwhile, modern life feels like 20 apps screaming simultaneously, while somebody nearby is watching short videos with no headphones and absolutely no shame. And the brain pays for it. Constant stimulation creates mental fatigue. Noise exhausts people more than they realize. Notifications, traffic, music, scrolling, arguments, advertising, screens, voices, movement. The nervous system never fully rests. That's why some people go on vacation and suddenly realize, "Oh, I wasn't lazy, I was overstimulated." And this is the hidden luxury Japan quietly protects: peace. Because peace has become expensive in the modern world. Real silence, real stillness, real mental rest. Some people are not tired from work. They are tired from noise. One thing Japan understands extremely well is this: preparation prevents chaos. And honestly, modern society treats preparation like a personal attack. Many people wake up every morning negotiating with life like unprepared pirates. No plan, no schedule, no food ready, no idea where their charger is, no idea where their peace went. Meanwhile, Japanese discipline quietly runs on systems: planning meals, planning schedules, preparing ahead to avoid waste. And it sounds boring until you realize how much money and stress it secretly saves. Because every unplanned decision usually becomes an expensive decision. No meal prepared, order delivery. Late for work, pay for faster transport. Forgot something important, emergency purchase. Modern life leaks money through poor planning the same way a broken tap leaks water. Slowly, quietly, and painfully. And the worst part? People usually don't notice. They think it's just small spending. Meanwhile, their banking app is watching in horror. Japanese preparation culture reduces these financial leaks before they happen. Food is planned, time is planned, space is planned, which means fewer emergencies. And adulthood becomes much cheaper when your entire existence is not permanently improvising. Because discipline makes life cheaper. That sentence sounds simple, but it explains almost everything. Discipline reduces waste. Discipline reduces panic. Discipline reduces emotional spending. Meanwhile, chaos is expensive. Very expensive. Especially when your quick purchase somehow turns into 12 unnecessary items and a dessert you didn't emotionally need. Now here's where it gets even deeper. Japanese culture often respects routine. And modern culture hates routine. People today want excitement every day. Motivation every day. Transformation every Tuesday morning. But discipline works differently. Repetition creates stability. Daily systems reduce stress because habits become automatic. You don't waste energy deciding everything repeatedly. You simply follow the system. Wake up, clean up, prepare food, work, exercise, rest. Simple. Meanwhile, many people live entirely based on emotion. If they feel motivated, they function. If they don't feel motivated, the entire day collapses like wet cardboard. That's why modern life often feels chaotic. People are depending on feelings to do things that should be habits. And feelings are unreliable, especially after midnight, when people suddenly decide they need to reinvent themselves by buying productivity books they will never open. Japanese discipline often looks repetitive from the outside, but repetition creates peace. Because routines remove unnecessary decisions, and fewer unnecessary decisions mean less mental exhaustion. That's the hidden secret successful people understand. The most successful people often look boring, because systems beat emotions every time. The gym is boring, saving money is boring, sleeping early is boring, planning ahead is boring. But you know what's also boring? Being broke every month because your life operates like an emergency room with Wi-Fi. That's the discipline gap. One lifestyle waits for emotions, the other builds systems strong enough to survive emotions. And finally, this may be the biggest discipline gap of all. Japanese culture often understands something modern society completely forgot. Enough. Not poverty, not suffering, not give up happiness and stare at walls. Just enough. In many Japanese lifestyles, satisfaction is not always tied to showing wealth. Simplicity is respected. Calmness is respected. Peace is respected. Meanwhile, modern culture behaves like every human being is competing in a global reality show called "Please Validate Me Financially." People upgrade things they don't even enjoy anymore. Bigger phone, bigger car, bigger apartment, bigger television, bigger stress. And the craziest part? Half the people flexing online or emotionally one electricity bill away from a documentary. Because comparison culture is exhausting. You buy something, then immediately see someone richer online. Now your perfectly good life suddenly feels behind. That's how lifestyle inflation traps people. The moment income increases, expenses evolve like Pokemon. Suddenly basic water is no longer enough. Now it must be imported from a glacier personally blessed by mountain monks. And this pressure never ends, because modern culture profits from dissatisfaction. If people ever became truly content, entire industries would collapse emotionally. That's why many people are exhausted. Not because they're lazy, but because they are chasing a lifestyle designed to be unfinished. There is always another trend, another upgrade, another aesthetic, another status symbol, another thing you supposedly need before becoming worthy. Meanwhile, Japanese simplicity quietly asks, what if peace is already enough? And honestly, that question makes consumer culture very uncomfortable, because peace cannot always be sold. Now let's be real. Japan is not perfect, no country is. Japanese people struggle too. They work hard, they face pressure, they experience stress like everyone else. But the real difference is this: discipline quietly protects their peace. Small habits save money. Small habits protect homes. Small habits protect mental health. Tiny daily systems quietly prevent giant future problems. Meanwhile, modern culture often profits from the exact opposite: distraction, impulse, noise, comparison, overconsumption, and emotional spending disguised as self-care. That's why many people feel mentally exhausted even while surrounded by convenience. Because convenience without discipline becomes chaos wearing nice packaging. And maybe the richest life is not the loudest one. Maybe wealth is not constantly upgrading everything until your nervous system files a complaint. Maybe the best life is actually much simpler, calm, intentional, clean, peaceful, enough. And honestly, after watching how stressed modern life has become, enough is starting to look extremely luxurious.